Told you we'd be able to adjust when one thing doesn't happen on time. We can move another thing up. And Paul Schreiber is in the studio with me. We're going to talk about an event that is coming up for the Phoenix Recovery with their programs. First of all, welcome. How are you today?
Great, Dave. Thanks again, and thanks from all of the folks at Phoenix for having us aboard today.
I want to tell you, first of all, thanks for a coin that you've just given me. This is from the USS Carney. Tell me about this first.
That's one of our Aegis class destroyers, DDG-64. And the nice thing about that ship is that's the ship that I made E7 on, or Chief Petty Officer, which is kind of a neat distinction. So that ship obviously holds very dear to my heart.
When were you serving on this?
That would have been 1999 to 2000. My tour was cut short on that ship because I had made chief. They had asked me to go to another command and serve with them.
Well, this is terrific. Thank you. This is very meaningful. I appreciate you giving this to me. What are your memories about this ship in particular? Specific memories?
Well, obviously, I had just made chief, and when I went to that ship, we got a chance to do some great things, and unfortunately, I've got a sad memory. I was aboard that ship when the Twin Towers fell, so that's probably one of the hardest.
What was that like to be serving our country on a ship? Where were you based at that point in time?
I was in Mayport, Florida at that time, Dave.
So you were assigned to a ship,
correct,
on September 11th, 2001.
Yep. And we weren't exactly sure what was happening at that moment. We were watching the news kind of like everybody else. The Twin Towers had just fell. A plane had just hit the Pentagon, and we didn't know what was coming next. And they mobilized 23 ships in just a very, very short period of time.
Was that when you were on one of them?
I was. We were one of those.
So what happened next?
We ended up sortieing out to sea for about 42 days with some very broad stroke directions that we may be heading north, we may be heading south. One of our sister ships, the Roosevelt, ended up heading up north in New York to answer the call in case we had something else happening up there.
I never thought about what that would have been like in that kind of situation, to be in the military, in the service, and then all of a sudden having to be put on alert and trying to know what to do next.
Yeah, one of the hardest things is at the time my family lived on base, and I had to leave, and I kind of had to leave my family in a place where they might have been, making a decision to fly a plane. So,
Paul Schreiber is here. We're not here to talk about all these kinds of things, but I find them to be interesting. And since you brought me this coin, I was just curious about your stories in regard to that. Phoenix Programs. Tell me about your association with Phoenix Programs.
I work with Phoenix Programs, trying to help folks that have fallen on some hard times, working through some issues with addiction, but not just necessarily addiction, but all types of recovery from possibly mental health concerns, addictions, and just getting back on their feet, learning a new way of life.
Tell me about the services offered by Phoenix.
Well, we help with addictions. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we've been in the community for 44 years. We've been providing effective treatment for those seeking recovery from drugs and alcohol addiction.
You have meetings, I would suppose, support groups, individual, all those kinds of things?
We've got individual counseling. We've got group counseling, groups that assist in education, and then we've got family counseling. We help in the community, reestablishing people back into the community.
Where are Phoenix Programs physically located?
We're at 90 East Leslie Lane here in Columbia, and that's kind of on the corner just behind Mawkins Nissan on the corner of Vandiver and Leslie, or Vandiver, Leslie, and Providence. There.
I remember, to me, the building there still seems new, I think, but it's probably older than I think.
70.
No, and I guess I'm not thinking of the right building. I was thinking one behind I thought it was at Vandiver and Providence behind the car dealership there. Are you talking about the building to the west of that intersection?
No, you've got it. It's
Yeah.
just it's directly behind the dealership there,
Yeah.
across from Revolution Church.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure the
That's
year that it was
I
built, but I
remember.
thought that I had heard 78.
Well, I think when it was built, well, I think they've updated it since then because I can
Probably.
remember touring that, and it's a great facility, and I think it serves the community well there.
We try our best to make sure that every person feels that they have the best possibility of recovery that they can coming in the door.
Let's talk about Phoenix programs and what you're really here to talk about, which is the Recovery Ride and Show. Describe that.
Well, what we're putting together is an awareness day for our community so that people know kind of what we do. And the way that we're putting that together is we're doing a poker run for our motorcycle community here in Columbia and the surrounding areas, obviously, Boone County. We're reaching out as far as St. Louis and Kansas City to anybody that might want to show up there. We're doing a car show. We've got an excellent live music show planned today on that day. We've got six bands from the local area coming in, and we're pretty excited.
So you can take part, whether you take part in the poker run or not. You can still enjoy the activities there.
Absolutely, we've got classic cars coming in. We've got a classic car show. We've got auctions. I mean, we've got some pretty amazing special attractions. We've got let's
Food
see.
trucks also.
Oh yeah, and the food trucks are changing a little bit. We had one pizza company coming in, and then that's kind of in flux right now. So what I would say is this: I know for sure that we've got Gorilla Brothers coming in, and you know that they all put on some wonderful food. So please come out and see them. We are going to have some pizza coming out as well. We've got some pinstriping coming.
So that would be pinstriping on your vehicles if you want to get that done.
Vehicles, motorcycles, and this guy's an amazing pinstripe artist. We really want you to come out and see Raging Pinstripes. And we've got the Dream Factory coming as well.
I see that. Bands include Wasting Daylight, Blake Gardner, Stone, Buddha, Mercury Trio, Don't Mind Dying, and Bannister Tarleton. Those
Absolutely.
are the bands.
I'm sure you probably heard Bannister Tarleton around. He's been in the community for about 50 years now.
Oh, so this is all taking place on what day and at what time?
September 8th. Registration for our poker run is going to start at 9 o'clock, and then we're hoping to get kickstands up about 10. And we'd like to see the last bike back in at 2:30 so that everybody can enjoy the auction that's coming, enjoy all of the festivities and as much of the music as they can.
What will you be auctioning off?
We've got packages coming from Harley Davidson. I'd like to say thank you to Jamie and the administrative staff over there from Midmo Harley Davidson. Martha, Steve, and Stuart from Head Motor Company have said that they're going to be giving us an Indian gift basket. So we got a little bit of swag from both of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty amazing. We've got some travel package. I want to say travel packages, but it's kind of once you've gotten down to Branson, some great things coming. We've got gift cards from the local area businesses. We've got some really great stuff coming.
That'll be the auction that will be scheduled that afternoon, starting at what time, do you hope?
About 3:30 is what we're thinking. We're going to have Mercury Trio come onto the stage, give us some great music, and then we're going to have them stop about the middle of their set. We're going to do the auction, and then probably announce the winner of the car and motorcycle show at that point, and then have Mercury Trio come back on and have Don't Mind Dying finish out the day for us.
Describe a poker run for people who've never participated in a poker run.
What a poker run looks like is we get a bunch of folks together that want to go on a drive or a ride, and we give them some places to go. And at each place, they're going to pick up one card, and we're going to play a hand of 5-card stud. So they'll go to 5 different locations in and I say local area, but we've got about 104 miles planned out for them right now. So, and some really great roads to travel for a poker run. So they'll go to each location, they'll pick up a card, and then when they come back, they'll return what their hand looks like, and it'll be based against every other rider's hand that participated that day. Now, the neat part about it is we're not just going to give out for the best hand. We're going to give out for the best hand. We're going to give out for the second best hand, and then
The
the
worst
guy that
one.
gets the worst hand, he still wins too.
That's good. How do you sign up for that? You can register the day of that morning?
Yeah, absolutely. You can register the day of, and we will have enough folks to get that taken care of. But if you'd like, you can get onto the website, which is going to look like www.phoenixprogramsinc, phoenixprogramsinc.org/recovery ride. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the website, you'll find a registration for both the poker run and for the car and motorcycle show. And then at that point, you can just check in and say, "Hey, I'm here."
You can see the map of where you're going to be sending them.
Absolutely.
I've seen you've got a lot on the website, so that's pretty neat. It tells you where the stops are going to be.
Sure.
You go all the way up to Centralia, you go to Harrisburg, you'll be hitting Moberly also, and a couple of stops in Columbia. So 5 different stops to get your cards and come back and see if your hand is good enough to win one of the prizes or bad enough to win one of the prizes.
Absolutely.
The People's Choice Award for some of the car shows. Also, you can register for your car to be in there, I think, also for the car show. What's the purpose of all of this?
This is just to gain awareness, so that the community knows that we're here. I mean, we've been here for 44 years, but a lot of folks don't know just exactly what we do. So we get the opportunity to show them what we do, um, and to give hope out there. Basically, to let people know it's okay that that what we deal with is a disease. We're not dealing with a moral dilemma, Dave. We're dealing with folks that have a disease just like they have the disease of diabetes or even cancer. And a lot of times this disease gets vilified and people don't want to talk about it. We're letting them know it's okay to talk about it.
Phoenix programs reach a lot. Do you know numbers? Do you know about how many people take advantage of some of the services of Phoenix programs?
Tom caught me with this one the other day. He says, "Hey, how many people have you guys helped?" And I went back and I said, "Tom got me." And
So now you're ready.
I asked my boss, and he said, "Paul, it's just in the thousands. In this community alone, it's been thousands and thousands."
PhoenixProgramsInc.org if you'd like more general information about it, and then if you want to know about the recovery ride and show. Anything else you want to tell us about it today?
I just hope that we can get the maximum participation. We've got the corner of Vandiver and Providence mapped out for a great event for our community. We've got some great weather on the schedule, and we've got some great events coming. I didn't get a chance to let you know we're going to have an exotic animal petting zoo. 15 of some of the most awesome animals. If you've ever thought you wanted to pet a kangaroo or hold a lemur, these are some great things. So we've got the kids involved with this just as well as we've got mom and dad.
So basically, you can stop by any time. Even while the poker run's going on, you'll be having some things going on, right?
Well, our music's going to start about 11 o'clock,
Yep.
and we figure everybody's going to get their cars in place. And I'd figure from about 10:30, 11 o'clock on, we're going to have some great stuff going on for the community.
All right, so go to the corner of Vandiver and Providence, kind of on the north of the interstate, just barely, and you'll be able to enjoy the Phoenix Programs Recovery Ride and Show. Got some great cars scheduled. You got some great entertainment, some games, petting some strange animals, and all kinds of other things that you could do for that. And that's at the Phoenix Programs location. And that is coming up on September the 8th, second Saturday next month.
You nailed it.
Less than a month away, though. Paul, thank you. Nice
Thanks,
to meet you.
Thanks again, Dave. Have a great day.
Paul Schreiber from Phoenix Programs with us. This is KFRU.